thought for today: the strategy of finding a marriage mate. You may not know this, but the man that you might or seeking to marry might be standing right by you, or he might not be too far from you. What do I mean? I'll give you an example. This man had various women that he would date and see over the years. One day, he got married. All the women came to him one by one saying, "Why didn't you pick me? I wanted to get married." And he said, "I didn't know that. We never talked about marriage. All we ever talked about was having fun." Then one even came to him and said, "I got dishes on my table that says, 'Let's get married.' We eat out of them. Every time you come over there, you eat out of them." "Well, you never sat down and discussed that to me. I just seen the plate and I never even thought about it, that you wanted to get married. I just thought it was just something that you just had at your house." You see, there's a scripture in Philemon chapter 4, verse 16 that says this: "Do not be anxious over anything, but to everything, by prayer and supplications, along with thanksgiving, let your petitions be made known to God." You see, when you go to God in prayer, you ask for what you want. You tell him the things that's happening to you. Well, you see, ask for what you want. If you want to get married, ask the man that you sin. Sit down and talk to him that you want him to be a stepfather, or you want him to be this in your life and the life of your children. You have to take time to ask what you want, not thinking that it's just going to happen. Very few things just happen in this world. And I'll give you another example. There's one in the book of Ruth. That's in the Bible. It speaks about a lady named Naomi and her husband went to the land of Moabite. And her two sons, they died, as well as the husband died that she had. But they had married women. And Naomi decided that she would go back to Bethlehem. That's where she came from. And one of the ladies decided that it would be unbearable for her to part from her mother-in-law. And so she went back, but the other one went to her people. And when they went back, the mother said that there was someone who could repurchase the land that her sons lost and repurchase their lives. And also, he could marry Ruth, that he was a marriage mate, a possibility of being a married person to her. So she went to where he was sleeping at and laid down beside him and uncovered his feet. And he eventually woke up and seen she was laying beside him. See, that's the way he did it back in the days, especially with the Israelites here. And he told her that there was someone else before him but he would go and ask that person, was he willing to take Ruth for a wife? But the whole thing is that she went and made herself available. She sought out the man that could marry her. And sometimes that's what you have to do, but you have to at least speak to the person that you have a relationship with and see whether or not they want to get married to you. You bring it up. Don't wait on them to bring it up. You see, because this guy I was telling you about before, a woman asked him to marry her. And he never even thought about it. But eventually, he decided to do it. you see. And so that's what we want to do. Because in the world that we live in, people don't communicate. They just go along with a situation and see how it's going to transpire. But if you want to get married, you got to take the initiative. If you know that, meanwhile, if you know you have problems that's within you that you need to work on, you need to work on them to improve your odds of finding someone that'll be your marriage mate. Don't. It's just like a wedding. A wedding is planned most of the time. The dress you're going to wear, how you're going to walk down the aisle, who you're going to have in the marriage, everything's planned. And that's what you have to do if you're seeking someone. You got to put plans into actions in order for it to be realized. And possible, you will find that person that you're looking for.